I'd like to speak today about generational curses and my father. I didn't know about generational curses until I read it in the Bible, Exodus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, I believe. And sins of the father. History has a habit of repeating itself if it's not fixed. So when my father and my mother got divorced, she made sure that he had nothing to do with us, and his family was not allowed to have anything to do with us. And that was extremely difficult for me because I didn't identify with my mother and my siblings. They didn't make sense. And my aunts and my uncles and my cousins and my dad, I related to them. They made sense. And then they were gone. So, a few years ago, my father was so upset. I don't even know why he was upset, really. And he told me to give up. Quit fighting my ex-husband. Quit, just let him take our youngest son. He said, he'll never let you go, Linda. They will never let you go. You need to just give up and try to move on. That's what I did. I flipped out. My father was telling me to give up on my boy because he gave up on me. And look how well that turned out. How dare he? How dare he give up on me and then tell me to do the same thing? I didn't speak to him for a very, very long time. Very long time. I was still angry with him. Last year when I walked into the hospital, even though I knew he was dying of a brain tumor. So my little sister, I meet my little sister in the hospital, and she's just devastated. She was just devastated and exhausted. So I told her to go home and rest. And I spent the weekend with my dad. Sorry, Mandy. But he was on a morphine drip every hour, and we had stuff to figure out. So he kept refusing the morphine so he could come out of it. So we could talk about everything we were not allowed to talk about all of my life. It's a very difficult thing to go through your whole childhood with your dying dad. But God needed me to do that because I shouldn't carry stuff that wasn't real, and he was carrying stuff that wasn't real. And at one point, my dad grabbed my arm and he started to cry, going over and over again. I'm so sorry, Bear Cub. I'm so sorry, Bear Cub. I'm so sorry, Bear Cub. And my brain just broke. My brain just broke because I never ever saw my father sad. I never saw my father cry. And it was at that moment when he was dying that I was allowed to see that he was human and he was broken just as bad as I was. And when he told me to give up, he didn't tell me to give up because he's a coward and I'm a coward. It's because he was afraid for me. He lived it too. A psychiatrist told me one time, she said, "You married your mother." I'm like, what? And he says, yes, we all marry what we know. Following God does not mean your life is going to be painless. In fact, really, it's going to probably be worse. It's going to be worse. But it's so worth it. a blessed day.